Alright, I introduced the Hope Chest in video 3, and I did that because I felt like for a long time I didn't make any progress in learning about family history work, or I didn't get anything done for long periods of time. And so it was something for me that really got me going and gave me a starting point to work on family history. So we'll go ahead and open our Hope Chest up here. And so I showed you how to run a search, and we ran a couple of different searches in the last video. Both of them only found one name, but they did all of that. It did all of that on its own. One of those searches was under William Edwards, so let me go there. Here we have the name that was found, and so now I'll talk a little bit about, or show you how to actually start working with these names that are found in Hope Chest. So there's some different symbols here. This opens up the tree that puts that person. It shows you that person in family tree. And then this opens up their personal information like we've looked at in other videos. And this is just the tag that Hope Chest puts on this person's name. And I told this was the search that we ran, and that's why it's tagged under that. If you have the free version, all they will be tagged as is in your inbox, because that's the only option that you have. So up here, this refreshes just Hope Chest. If you're running a search and working at the same time, it will add new names that have been found since you opened it to this folder or area. These are the settings for Hope Chest. Again, that's just if you want to apply a different tag. Again, some of these options are only available if you pay the $10. But we'll go ahead and click on this person, open them up in the tree. You can see it looks like Hope Chest left. What it did is it put Hope Chest to the back. You can see it down here. If I click on it, it brings it forward again. So I'll show you how I like to work with the two of these combined. I will adjust my browser and Hope Chest so that I can see them both at the same time, and there's not that bouncing back and forth. It's a little bit easier for me to just keep working and getting things done. So here we have the name that we clicked on. It opened it up in this folder for us, and you can see that there's a green temple. It shows up in two spots because she is the child of this couple here, and so you can see her name's down here. So that's why there's a temple in two locations. But I'll click on the temple, and you can see permission is required for Donald. You could do his temple work too, but he hasn't, or was born within the last 110 years, so you have to have permission. But here we can do the work for her now because she was born earlier than he was. So we just hit here and hit request. And here are the church policies, the terms and conditions of doing temple history work. It's always the same. That here's some of the things you can't do: work for famous people, those who gathered from unapproved extraction projects, or from the Jewish Holocaust victims. Again, like the one we read before, the person was born within the last 110 years, requires permission, and you're saying that this is one of your ancestors. You just click here and put add to temple ordinance list, and that moves that individual into your temple ordinance list. So she's still here down here in our Hope Chest. So if we make sure that this is selected here and hit delete, it won't remove her from the tree, but it will just remove her from our Hope Chest, from our list that we're working from. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Hit OK. So then one of the other searches that we did before resulted in finding William here. So we'll open that up as well to kind of show you another thing that sometimes happens. The searches aren't perfect, but they're a really good starting point. So you can see here it shows William again with the green temple. Click on it, and right here it says for William, every now and then it just puts ones in there that shouldn't be, that there's possible duplicates, and so we can't request the temple ordinance work for him. So I'm going to, right now I'm not focusing on duplicates, I'm not working on that line, so I'm going to go ahead and delete him out of my list. So the search isn't always perfect, but it is it really helps out. I've ran searches where I find nobody. I've run searches where I find 1 or 2 and over 100. I was helping my sister-in-law, and we ran a search, and she'd been trying to get started on family history work as well, and on one search we found over 300 names. I think it was like 353 names. I have some other searches that I've ran in here that were a little bit more successful. You can see here under this search I found 51 names, and you can see that there's family members, brothers, sisters, and just it's a really good starting point. So let's go ahead and add one more person to our temple reserve that's up here. So I'll show you how to do that one more time, and then in the next video we'll talk about actually printing and taking these names to the temple. So we'll go ahead and click here again on the tree, and it opens up David Wilson up here. You can see these other names that we've opened. They always open in their own tab. So you can actually do this while you're doing the Hope Chest searches. You can be working on this list while Hope Chest is searching. So I'll go ahead and close these other ones because we don't need them. And here we have a bunch of green temples. They're probably down here on the list. The one that we opened for was for David Wilson, so that's right here. And there you can see again with David Wilson that there is a possible duplicate. One of the options on the search is to not add duplicates to the list, and I've done that before without success. For some reason it seems like it still puts duplicates up there, and I'm not sure why. But you can see here sometimes I'll find other green temples around the same search area where the name possibly shows up over here. Sometimes I found some that didn't even show up over there. So I can request these temple ordinances. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and hit request. You have to approve and hit add to the temple ordinance list. So you can see if all of the ordinances for this family and their children have been requested, the temple will change colors. This blue shows that it's in progress. That doesn't always happen because sometimes there's duplicates or other things that can't be requested, so it still shows the green because there's other work that needs to be done. So that's what that's for. Here's another green temple. I just check it out while I'm here, and there's additional temple work that needs to be done, and I'll go ahead and request that. Again, there's lots of temples in this area. We'll check it out. See, these have already been reserved by somebody else. See, the reason it was green is because there's some work here for David Wilson that can be done, but is a possible duplication. Again, we'll do that in another video, how to deal with duplicates. So again, here's some more work that can be done. I'll go ahead and request it. And that is really getting started with getting names ready to take to the temple with Hope Chest. So I just try a few different searches, try it a lot of different ways, but again, search under, you can try Ancestry. I really recommend doing the search descendancy, putting different people at the center of the tree. And the next video we'll talk about how to work with those names in the temple list up here that are reserved to take to the temple, and just start searching.